Having a VAT or a goods and services tax like Germany does, like Japan, like every industrial country but us has, is a good idea. It is a tax on consumption. It also taxes incoming goods. Of course, a tariff is also a consumption tax, but only on the imports. We overconsume and underproduce, but we tax production a bit too much. We should move that tax burden onto consumption to rebalance so we consume a little less, we produce a little more. And as we raise revenue from a U.S. goods and services tax, for example, like Canada does, we can use the proceeds to benefit domestic production, to reduce the cost of domestic production, such as credit against the payroll tax. But all of this, it would be another type of a trade intervention in a way, because as Alexander Hamilton knew, or Frederick List of Germany, the economist from Germany, the well-being of a society is not based on how much it can buy, but how much it can produce. So that's why China, Germany, Japan do trade intervention, because the net benefit of helping production and suppressing slightly consumption in relation to it is how they have grown to catch up with us since post-World War II.
What can these manufacturers, I mean, if they're coming directly to talk to them, their whole idea, they're small manufacturers, and they're not going to be able to fill up the bank like the Boeings and the Kias can, right? I mean, what do they do? How do they appeal to these same people that have that kind of competition for their attention?
In some ways, small manufacturers are more powerful than the Boeings, and I've actually heard that from Ford Motor Company people when they get frustrated not being, heard, and the small and medium-sized manufacturers are heard. They're very powerful, and so don't underestimate your strength, and make sure you deliver a clear message. In this case, is do not stop this trade intervention. You need to broaden it smartly to cover the full supply chain. And then we provide more jobs, and not only that, they're good paying jobs, but not only that, they boost the wage level in the whole community. And that's one reason that manufacturing is so beneficial beyond itself. So don't be shy about that. But you got to have a unified message, and don't fight the trade intervention that's going on, because otherwise it stops and we go on the same, slouching towards, Gomorrah, as they say.
One comment you made that I think it really kind of talks about the urgency is that we're in the middle of a whole shakeup of this system, and that's why it's urgent that they get involved right now.
That's right. If you have a choice between fighting it or going with it, seeing what you can get out of it, and the Trump team, at least looks like the economic nationalists are going to proceed, and we're happy about that. We think Bob Lighthizer are extremely smart, Bob Lighthizer and Peter Navarro, and they're going to go ahead with this, and they're not going to be backing down like Bush 43 did. And they want to cover the whole supply chain. They're trying to figure out a way to do it. The best route is to work with the Coalition for a Prosperous America, which represents a lot of the supply chain, and give them the arguments to go forward to cover protection beyond steel and aluminum, further downstream, which is a real risk, the downstream overcapacity and dumping. The better solution is to argue for your downstream production to be covered. And as we get better at protecting our national industry, just like Germany and Japan do, that's how we've got to do it. We don't have any other choice. There's going to be disruption. There's going to be new normals. There's going to be other opportunities. Let's get on the wagon and give them the right information so they can make the good decisions that they want to make.